This is something else that some of these people who are trying to force their regulations over the internet, that they're trying to set prices. They're trying to say what somebody can charge for something, and this is something that. Well, ignoring our economy completely, this is just something globally I don't think we can actually stand for or just allow somebody to do. Quite honestly, I think what we're seeing here is that there is this fear from a lot of governments around the world that the internet is becoming more powerful than them, and they don't like that. And then, of course, what happens when situations like that happen, either economic sanctions are levied where they can be, or we look at things like, invading Iraq, Kuwait, Afghanistan. Yes. So, see, that's kind of all in the works there, too. So we've got a bunch of people who have actually given me this show topic today through various emails and conversations and some, a lot of your opinions and statements on this whole thing. And one of the first things that I noticed is that this issue kind of gets clouded over very quickly with politics. Everybody's talking about a lot of you were coming back with, oh, we love Obama, he's doing what he can, he's doing this, that, and the next thing, and nobody else has done that before, and blah, blah, blah. Or you've got the opposite side where Obama's an idiot, he's got to be thrown out of the White House, it's time for a change, Mitt Romney's not the best, but we're going to go with him anyway. And you guys kind of left the whole internet regulation thing by the wayside. And I understand that, but at the same time, we need to keep our eyes on the ball here. Now the U.S. is pushing to regulate internet access globally as well. But at the very least, right here at home. From Washington, Amy Schatz reports to us that in a move that will stroke a battle over the future of the internet, the federal government plans to propose regulating broadband lines under decades-old rules designed for traditional telephone networks. See, so now they've kind of tried to get in there and actually regulate the internet itself, but when they find that they just don't have the tools or the ability or the foresight to actually get in and be able to do that and make it effective, now they're kind of backpedaling and going back to the old, well, we may not be able to control the internet, but we can certainly control everybody's connectivity to it and how much bandwidth they get, and et cetera, et cetera. Now, the decision by Federal Communications Commission Chairman Julius Genachowski, I have a problem with that name, it's hard, sorry, bear with me, is likely to trigger a vigorous lobbying battle, which it has, arraying the big phone and cable companies and their allies on Capitol Hill, quote that, their allies on Capitol Hill, thank you, against Silicon Valley giants and consumer advocates. Now, we'll get to that in a few minutes here. Some of the consumer giants and advocates are, AT&T, Verizon, Facebook, Apple Computer, the Comcast, I mean, the list goes on. Breaking essentially a deadlock within the agency, the Federal Communications Commission chairman is expected actually to outline his plan for regulating broadband lines. He wants to adopt net neutrality rules that require internet providers, like some of these companies like Comcast and AT&T, etc., to treat all traffic equally and not to slow or block access to certain websites. Well, that's kind of funny, because why would we even have to say that in this country? We're all up in arms because China is not letting their people browse freely. We're all up in arms because Korea is not. We're all up in arms because Chechnya is not. But oh wait, we got to make sure we don't do it too. Whoa. Why do we have to make sure we're not doing? Our country's built on freedom of speech, correct? Well, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and all of those great rights that we all enjoy, I don't think they stop at the internet, do they? Well, the FCC has said in a statement that it wouldn't apply the full brunt of any existing phone regulations to internet lines, and that they would set a meaningful set of boundaries to guard against regulatory overreach. That's a quote. And you know what? Even I, your superior thinking, critical man, Crash Jesus, cannot figure out what the hell that states. Meaningful boundaries to guard against regulatory overreach. There is no regulation. Oh, wait, is there? Well, apparently it's coming in 30 days. Anyway, gang, we're going to go for our first of many, many fine commercial breaks. Aren't they great? I love them. Anyway, we will be back here in 2 minutes and get into what's happening today in the world of regulating the internet.
When you're under fire, when there is no hope, when all other possible solutions have been exhausted, when it comes down to just you saving the Earth from the alien extermination of the human race, don't trust any gear. Trust Logitech Game Gear. Only you and Logitech can save the planet.
Logitech.com.
Kimber Firearms. Quality without compromise. Kimber measures success by product quality and customer satisfaction, not sales volume or market share. After all, if you trust a Kimber for protection, carry one hunting, or shoot one in competition, quality is everything. That mindset comes naturally. From the top down, Kimber is made up of dedicated shooters and hunters who insist that their guns be the best. Kimber quality has led to unprecedented demand. Organizations like the USA Shooting Team, LAPD SWAT, and United States Marines assigned to Central Command chose Kimber. American shooters did too, in a big way, and Kimber has become the world's largest producer of 1911 pistols. From Alaska to Africa, hunters have relied on Kimber rifles to take the trophy of a lifetime. At Kimber, quality will always be paramount and the true measure of success. This ensures that Kimber will continue to be the first choice of America's best shooters. We invite you to visit our website and come see for yourself. www.kimberamerica.com.
Is the moment right, but you're not? At your age, you know enough about what it is you really want. You don't need no guidance. But if you suffer from erectile dysfunction, maybe now is the time to talk to your doctor. Be ready the next time the moment is right. Don't take chances with what's in your pantses. Viagra, the most trusted name when it comes to getting the job done. Do not drive your Camaro while taking Viagra, as it may affect your ability to see or hear.
Welcome back, gang. Crash Talk. Regulate this. Yes, today we're talking about regulating the internet. That's right. We're going to regulate it. If we can find a way to make money regulating it, we're going to regulate it, by God. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're going to regulate it. And what are you going to do as the user? You're going to eat it. That's right. You heard it here first. You're going to eat it. You're just going to suck it up and carry on with your freaking day, and that's all there is to it. Well, you know, that kind of brings me to my next segment, which, oddly enough, wow, look, we're in the next segment. Interesting. Anywho, this segment is entitled, Should the Internet Be Regulated? Now, this is where we're going to open up a little bit of conversation. We're going to look at some people's opinions from all over the world, because I actually have them. Yes, I do. We're going to be looking at people from Korea. We're going to be looking at people from the Netherlands. We're going to be looking and dealing with people from Australia. We're going to be talking with people right here in the USA about what they think about should it be, and if so, how much and what, and all of those other questions. Now, despite the prevalence of objectionable materials on the internet, this media form remains essentially unregulated, certainly less than TV and the movies. One listener to Crash Talk here from Korea, Ji Soo Chin, from Korea actually, writes that she thinks there's always yes, that's not what she said. No, this is what she said. I'll try this again. I think we are always required to give too much personal information over the internet. Really? Okay. If you're talking about having to give up an email address and a password to log in somewhere to form any kind of an account, you, the user, are the one who is in control of exactly what you're putting out there. Nobody is telling you that you have to be truthful, are they? No, they're not. This kind of brings me to something else that we're going to touch on here, an internet passport. Ooh, what did Crash just say? Yes, an internet passport. We'll get more onto that little topic in a second here, but she says the internet must be the most complicated media because the inside of it is like mazes. Once I connect with the internet, I can surf anywhere. I can shop, listen to music, watch movies, and check my bank account all on the internet. Sometimes I have to type my address, telephone number, job, email, and credit card number. I always hesitate to give this information when I have to do it. I think there are always wow. See, I'm sorry, folks. I'm drinking today or something. I don't know why I can't talk. She says, I think they're always required to give too much personal information over the internet. And sometimes I receive mail, but don't know from whom. Our private information may no longer be private. Well, here's something you got to understand, Jisoo, is that if it's in a situation like a bank account, for example, you actually having that privilege to be able to log into your bank and check your balances and pay your bills and do all of those great services that they offer is completely on you. Nothing is stopping you from putting on a frickin' coat and walking down the street to the bank and doing your business right there with the people who do need to know your real information. Now, that's in the cases of the banks, and this is something that I've always said for many years to anybody who does any kind of online banking or those kind of transactions online. You have to understand something. The banks and the financial institutions out there like PayPal, etc., and the other financial groups that want to take the money like Amazon and eBay, it's great that they all purport that they've got 512K bit encryption so that you can buy with confidence or you can access your bank account with confidence. See, that's great, and that's all true. I'm not taking that away from any of them that say those things because they are all true. They spend millions of dollars a year just keeping all of that security and infrastructure up so that they can do business with you from the ease and comfort of your own browser or internet phone. Here's the problem. Here's a problem that nobody ever thinks about, and every time I tell people this, they're like, oh my God, Crash, you're right. Oh my God, I'm surprised my bank account's not empty. What the hell? And they stop dealing on the internet for their banking, and I'm going to say it here, and the masses of you may go rushing to your banks and cancel all of your online activities, but here's the kicker. In Windows 98, in Windows 2000, in Windows Millennium, in Windows XP, in Windows 7, in Windows 64-bit 7, now in Windows 8. You know what you got? You've got a browser tool in there, don't you? It's called Internet Explorer. Yes, it is. And in all those versions of Windows that you're likely using, excuse me, Mac users, you need to look at this too. Your browser software itself is only a maximum of 128-bit encryption. That's right, folks, which basically means, if we do the math here, that while the bank's connection is secure at 512 bits encryption, which is, good luck, go ahead and hack that, sure, we all as users and consumers are operating from our homes and cell phones in a 128-bit encryption capacity, which means if we look at the this plus this equals this, that the bank is totally secure in any transaction they're doing with anybody outside their network. You, however, as users, are not. There are so many hacking websites out there that offer free-to-download tools. You don't even have to know how to be a hacker. You download these free tools, and you can hack into anybody on their browsers running at 128-bit encryption. And yes, this has nothing to do with your firewall or anything else, because as soon as you go outside your firewall to make a connection on the internet side of anything, you got your pants down. So yeah, maybe think about that